But you took that thing around the block. What'd you think?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, I didn't get out of first gear, but
Yeah, you stalled it the first time.
well, he
We
said
all
it.
did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we all did.
Yep.
Yeah, come on, it's not
Shit,
just
I
me.
stalled that shit like 3 times.
Really?
Yeah, come on. But I rode it around the block. You know, it was
You
fun.
couldn't open it up, obviously, but
No, it's a short ride, but it was awesome, dude. What was that again? A Porsche what?
GT3.
GT3. All right, cool. Oh, fuck that thing. It's all messed up. Sorry.
all right. So should we get this thing going?
All right, we're gonna hit the intro. You ready? 3,
Yeah.
2, and 1.
Welcome to the What's Good Tampa Show.
What's Good Tampa Show.
This is where we talk about all things Tampa Bay and beyond. Coming to you from the Gimmick in Ybor City, here's your hosts, Austin and Sean.
Okay, here we go.
We're back. Victor Falcon, born star name 101. I mean, wow, good for you.
What's up, guys?
Tampa Auto Gallery, right? That's the business. So tell us about your business. I mean, you sell luxury cars. I just drove a Porsche
GT3.
GT3.
2022 GT3.
Which was beautiful, by the way. What a fun ride. Tell us a little bit about the business and what you're doing.
So we're a very boutique style dealership. We specialize in all exotic cars, Lamborghini, Ferrari, Porsche, McLaren. We're 80% nationwide, so most of these cars go out of state. Half of these people don't even see the cars. We literally just send them the car, they send us the money, and we're a relationship-driven business.
That's sick. Online sales of supercars. That's wild.
Is it only online, or you have a dealership?
Oh, no,
nearby?
We have a dealership where we keep all the cars, and people come from time to time, but we're very niche, so a lot of these cars, you kind of have to expand your parameters and search nationwide for these cars. So same way people are buying them, I'm doing the same. I'm buying cars in New York, Texas, California, I mean, all over the country.
And then these cars, it's not like there's 100 of these cars. Like there's 6 that they have to find if they want a specific thing.
Yeah, so lately we've been primarily focusing on very specific cars. An example is we just sold that blue GT3
That's sick.
Porsche, Riviera Blue. They only made 16 of them.
Damn.
The second we listed that car, I had like 3 people on the car.
What does a car like that go for, where they only make 16 of them? That's
So it's crazy. So back then, like that car's a 2015. Back then, nobody really cared or noticed where that market was going to go. And now the values on these cars have gone up so much because people are chasing these cars. And
Because they're collector's items. I mean,
they're collector items.
and no one else has it.
Nobody else has it, yeah. So we kind of focus in that very niche market because at the end of the day, like we're selling investments. You buy a typical car and you sell it at the end of its road and you kind of lose money. With these cars, they actually appreciate.
Oh, sick.
because
Even though
they're
my
so rare.
They're so rare, and I think now we're in this generation where people my age, we're all out here chasing our poster cars. So like that's like
Definitely.
the Lamborghini Gallardo,
Yep.
the Porsche GT3 is coming up there, the Ferrari F430. So we're in that new era phase because right now, if you look at like the prior era, which is like the Diablos, the Countaches, those are half $500,000 plus right now.
Yeah, the Lamborghini Countach when I grew up, that was like the car,
Yeah.
and the Diablo. Is there still
Diablo,
a Diablo
everybody
or
wanted
no?
Diablo.
Is there still a Lamborghini Diablo?
You have one,
Yeah,
don't
we,
you?
we have one in the
Okay.
showroom,
Oh
yeah.
shit.
Yep.
Okay, that's what
Purple,
I'm coming
right?
for next.
Purple,
It's
Yep.
sick.
That's amazing. How long have you been doing this for?
So I've been doing this for 10 years now. Very humble beginning. Started selling cars on Craigslist, like $500 cars and stuff.
$500.
That's
car.
sick.
And to make a long story short, I kind of got into doing exotics just from. I always wanted to buy a car, make money on it, but also want to drive it. So
Yeah.
back then I was buying like European stuff, so like Audis, AMG Mercedes, just cars like that, maybe higher mileage, like under
Yeah.
$5,000, where like I could afford it, drive it, and then sell it and make money.
Got it. Okay. And then, so I mean, I feel like with the way the economy is this still a thriving business, or is this like?
But remember, at the top, it's thriving.
Is
That's
it
the
is
thing.
it that? Well, I guess that's the question I'm getting at. Is it always because these are such rare cars, or?
Yeah, so I feel like the good thing about our market is again, we're chasing these limited production cars, and we're catering kind of to people in our generation that, you know, are successful and have been chasing these cars, and they understand that these cars are an investment.
And
So,
they
like,
can't walk into a Rolls Royce and get one of those cars because they don't exist. They're not there at that spot. So like they're going to come to you because they can't even go to a Porsche dealership to find that thing that you're driving right now.
Correct, yep.
So that's the thing is it's that supply and demand where it's like you're chasing the same cars that other people are, but if you get them, they got to come to you.
Correct.
Because it's not like they can go to 5 other places in Tampa to go find that car.
Yeah, and even if you go to a Porsche dealership and go order something, like you're not going to get that car right away. It's going to take
Well,
about
you
2
were
years.
just talking about that's the crazy part. It takes years.
Like that car, I paid the sticker on that GT3 was like $185, I think, and I paid about like 60 grand over sticker.
But that's the way it is.
And then we'll probably turn around and sell it for like 30 grand over what I paid.
Yeah, nice.
Because people are searching for that.
People just the Porsche right now is I would
Especially
say it's
that
the
one.
best market to be in right now. It's very hot.
That was going to be my next question. So, like, out of all these luxury brands, Lamborghini, Rolls-Royce, Porsche, what is kind of like the hottest seller, I guess, right now? Is it Porsche?
I would say Porsche for several reasons. You have a lot of these guys that have experienced all of these exotics, and
They want a driver.
they want to find something where it just hits all the bells and whistles, and it might not be the doors going up and all of that, but Porsche is a very track-focused car. It's a good driving car. It sticks to the ground. I mean, it just does everything perfect. It's like the girlfriend that doesn't cheat or do anything. Like, you have nothing to worry about.
Yeah,
her. There's some cars where they all have their things, so you have to be careful how you drive it and do certain things.
So like the Lambos, everybody always thinks of a Lambo, and they're like, it's the Lambo, and the doors go up, and that's the thing. There's obviously you have a bunch of Lambos in there, and is that a thing that a certain kind of person is trying to buy, and then the driver wants the Porsche, but the dude that wants to flex wants the Lambo? Is that kind of how it works?
100%. The beginner influencer is probably going to buy a Huracan or something along those lines.
Because that means they've made it.
Yep.
But they don't know how to drive.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. That car, you can literally drive it. It's all-wheel drive. I mean, there's not much to fuck up on there.
That's crazy. Did you ever want a Lambo back in the day?
Well, yeah, it said like Countach and
No, but like
Diablo
to
and
drive
everything.
it, or did you just like to see like
I mean, I just thought they were cool looking. You know. Yeah.
I think we all want. I mean, I always the first car I ever bought that got kind of my feet wet with the exotics was a Lamborghini Gallardo. So I mean,
you got it. You got your post. And did you drive it for a while?
Oh yeah, I drove it every day.
What about the Lamborghini trucks? They go quick, right?
Love them.
When you get them?
I think the Urus is by far the best daily driver in the sense that it's just very well-rounded. It's comfortable. You get all the performance needed. You know, I'm always on the go, so like I can have a phone call in there without like all this exhaust noise in the background or like the Porsche. I can't like take phone calls or anything. 'Cause
Right.
It's stick shift and too much stuff going on.
But when you're driving that thing, you're driving.
Driving.
Yeah.
Yep. Drive it like you stole it.
Yeah.
What's your personal favorite?
That you've ever owned. How about that? If there was one car that you owned, like that you loved the most.
Dude, it's just hard. There's so many of them. It's like I tell people, like depends on my mood or whatever has gas in it. But to answer your question, if we're going off of right now, Porsche,
Porsche.
GT3.
And so,
GT3, GT3 RS, Turbo S. They're all fun.
is that your life right now? Like you don't really have a car, you just have like 40 cars,
Yeah.
and like you just choose like which one you're gonna take today?
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Because I met you and you had the Bentley truck.
And you're in a
which sold
relationship, what are
immediately.
you
Did
doing?
you like that?
Thank God I had the Bentley truck because
For
I
artwork,
bought
yeah.
a bunch of your artwork. So
That was sick.
yep.
How did you find this asset?
Armature Works.
Amateur work.
I was just
okay.
speaking this praises, and he's just like, I need this, this, and this, and then we've now just collabed, and he's just like, I want this and this, and his place is a friggin' museum, dude. It's sick.
Yeah,
I
I'm
just did a
excited.
barrel. I have to post more about that because I do a really bad
Yeah,
job
that
on
barrel is
Instagram.
sick.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I took one of his old barrels
Uh-huh.
and just tagged it over 3 weeks time. It was
Okay.
crazy. It's awesome. But anyway, that place you got to go down in Largo. Where's the if they want to come visit you to see cars? Where would they go?
12401 Belcher Road, Largo, Florida 33773.
And then when you walk in that room, dude, it's wild. He's got the hexagon ceiling lights. Like it's a showroom in there, and it's wild. And everything, dude. From when I first met you, just months ago, it's like all that stuff's gone, even the truck.
Yep.
And then new stuff's in. It's crazy. It's nuts.
Yeah, and I think now since we've been focusing more on these very niche cars and stuff. They sell faster. We're getting good quality. That's the other thing. So with the niche stuff, I want these cars back at some point. Like if I
Right.
spend 2 years chasing a Riviera Blue GT3 RS, I want to make sure it goes to the right buyer because I want that car back at some point.
Gotcha.
I love that idea.
Like that car, I had 3 people on it, and I sold it to one guy and took a little bit less money than I would.
Because you know it's coming back in 2 years.
I know it's coming back. He's a collector. I bought one of his other Porsches he had. So like, for us, it's not just about the money. It all has to make sense, and we want to curate these relationships. And it's like I tell people, I want to sell you 10 cars. I don't want to just sell you one car.
Right.
And I think that's a big part in our business with what we do.
And every time if they buy a McLaren, like when I went in there the other day, somebody was trading in his Lambo to get the McLaren.
Yep.
And in his mind, it's like, the neighbor's got the McLaren. It's time for me to step up. But like, they're really probably the same price, right? Or is the McLaren a step up from the Lambo that he had?
It really all depends, man.
What they want.
So McLaren makes different specs. So like the 570, I would say is in the same category as like a Huracan. They're both like Lamborghini and
I got
McLaren's
you.
entry-level cars. Then you have the 720, which I would say is more comparable to like a Aventador kind of. So
it's just what they want out of the experience.
Yep.
It's not just balling bigger.
no, and it's like I tell people,
Because you're balling in a Lambo or a McLaren, right?
Either way.
100%. They're,
You can't go wrong.
Yeah, you can't go wrong
yeah,
there.
no, and they're all cool, and they're just different driving experience. McLaren's a more track-focused car, so you might get the guy that they like all of that, or you get the influencer that's just now getting that check, and he just wants a Lambo.
That's sick.
Do you get that? Do you get influencers in there or sports stars or
Yeah,
what's your clientele like?
Yeah, so a little bit of everything. To be honest with you, though,
You got to have money.
Yeah,
That's all that
Money.
yeah,
That's all that
To
really
be
matters.
honest
Yeah,
with
yeah.
you, though, it's always the people that either do like landscaping, construction, like the people you least expect.
Yeah.
Come in board shorts and flip flops. Those
That's
are
always how
those
the
are
rich guys
typically our
dress.
guys.
Oh, yeah.
And we love it. And I mean, even at our place, like we don't wear suits or nothing
That's
like that.
cool.
Like
Such a vibe.
no pressure, just come.
And that new conference room is wild.
Yeah.
You got to go in there. You got to go down there, Austin.
That's
It's
an
sick.
yeah. Well, I'm excited to go down there.
Yeah.
That's an interesting mentality as far as like you guys don't dress up for the because like in real estate,
You're
you're
not
selling
faking
a
it.
multi-million-dollar home. The guy who shows it to you is usually in a suit, decked out, blah blah blah.
Yeah, but he's got $600
Is that-
Yeezys on. You got to give him a little bit,
But
son.
so is that more of like you're just going for the vibe, or do you find like that's the clientele you get? So we're trying to match that.
Several things. I mean, number one, I think that's the vibe I want people to think, because when you come to our place, you go through the office and all that, and then you open the showroom. So like, even if I come and open the door and I got shorts on and
The
stuff,
vibe is legit.
someone might judge me or whatever, right? But then once that showroom door opens,
they're like,
their
this
jaws
is-
drop.
Right.
And like, I think all of that's irrelevant. I think the biggest thing is giving the customer the best experience ever. And again, we're very relationship driven. So like,
Yeah.
no matter what we're wearing, I think it's more important on how we treat our clients and how we curate these relationships.
No, I
So-
appreciate that. Like here at the Gimmick, I won't wear a suit either, but we ain't selling
Well,
Lambos.
yeah, look at this place. Yeah, no one's wearing a suit in here.
Yeah.
You can smoke inside here. No, I'm just kidding. You can.
So what would that be one of the big main differences between you and other exotic car dealerships in Tampa Bay, or what would you say is kind of like the big difference between you and other places they could go?
I mean, there's, with us, we're so niche, so we're kind of on a nationwide scale. I mean, there are a couple nice places here. I think everyone just does their own thing, you know,
Yeah.
in the exotic business. Like, there's no traditional way. But if I had to say something that sets us apart is, again, our relationship and giving the client like the best experience ever. Another thing is our culture. I hire nothing but young people, so I love coaching and mentoring younger people and seeing them do good. Like, I don't need you to be the best salesperson.
They want it. They want to learn and grow with you.
But if they
That's
want to
huge.
learn and grow with me, like, come on, let's do it.
That's awesome. Yeah. Let me ask you this question. This is more maybe like of a finance question, but what if I wanted a Lamborghini? Because I do.
Yeah.
What does that look like as far as cost and like payment? How much money do I need to be making? How much money do I need to expect?
What does he have to put down to buy a Lambo next
Yeah,
week?
like what? How does that?
So let's say you buy like a 2015 Huracan. Let's just say we get it for like 190. Typical is 20% down,
Okay.
over 700 credit. But here's the messed up thing. So you can have the best credit, make really good money, but
Can't buy a Lambo.
sometimes if you've never bought an exotic before, the banks will give you a hard time.
Oh, why?
Because they'll be like, okay, everything's good, but you've only financed a couple $30,000 cars. You're getting a loan for a 190 grand.
Right.
So the banks are just weird. So this is where the leasing, I'm actually a partner in a leasing company, so we do a lot of leasing where it's structured like a finance deal, and I have a close relationship with the president of the company, so we're able to make those things happen.
So you can lease it.
And it's structured like a finance deal. So basically, I go to my guy and say, look, as long as everything looks good on paper, we're good. He's like, yep. And they have the bank cut the check.
There you go.
So we
But-
do a lot of leasing. We do
Okay.
80%. It's through our
Oh,
leasing
it's
company.
through leasing. Okay, all right.
And the other cool thing is too.
And you'll get those cars back.
And
correct,
and
so that's the cool thing. So once you lease, if you trade back the car in with me after a year,
yeah.
who cares?
Yeah,
Get a
it's
McLaren.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's 100 and so let's say 190 grand, right?
Down payment about 40 grand maybe.
About 40 grand down payment. So my monthly payment is roughly around.
If I had a guess, I'm terrible.
Rough
with
guess,
numbers,
yeah, it
but,
doesn't matter.
Maybe like $2,500 a month.
Oh, okay, that's not so bad.
Yes.
That's not so bad.
Do you think you can do it?
I mean, I could definitely do it.
Do you want to do it?
I just don't know.
You like your Jeep.
I mean, I do like my Jeep, but I mean, a Lambo would be nice. But I can't.
Now, is there anybody that like buys a Lambo to make money on like these influencers? Like, are they buying this for the pictures, or is it just to flex and floss?
Isn't it always a flex?
I mean, it's a little bit of everything. I mean, you know, we get these younger people that come in, and this is their first time touching money, and it's a proud moment for them. So yeah, they want to flex and all of
True.
that. We get, you know, the experienced car buyer that comes in and already has 5 cars and like doesn't
Right.
even post a car. So like it's a little bit of everything.
I
but
see what you're saying. Like he's just buying more for his collection.
Yeah, everybody's different, and I kind of support everyone, whether you are flexing it or whatever, because you know when someone comes and buys a car like that, that's a dream. Like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like
absolutely.
you should be proud and you should
Hell
post
yeah.
it. So like we've just learned to kind of be a part of everyone's journey, no matter what it is. And,
Hey, if they want to buy the car, it doesn't matter why.
yeah.
Right.
It's that they're gonna. It's a big moment for them.
Yep. I mean,
It's like
I
buying
had
a house, really.
I had a client not that long ago buy a car from us, and he does OnlyFans, which I was like, damn.
He does OnlyFans.
Austin might know him.
Yeah.
Austin
He
follows a
does
lot of
it.
dudes on OnlyFans.
But yeah,
Wow.
my banker ran him and perfect credit, makes good money, and it was no brainer deal. I was like,
Holy
cool.
shit.
Yeah.
That, good for
and
him.
then you can follow him on OnlyFans and
Yeah,
see.
like, what's he doing
Yeah.
on OnlyFans? Jesus. And what's like next for you guys? Are you opening more shops or expanding? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, so right now we are working on something which I talked to
Yeah,
you
that's
about.
sick.
So hopefully soon I'll be able to.
And is that for the space? Is that what you need more space? Because right now you're like loaded with cars.
Yeah, so currently now we're at about 52 cars, close to $9 million in inventory.
Crazy.
And we're kind of packed.
And so it's tough because now it's like you want the bigger place means you can get to 100 cars maybe. And is it always about chasing down, or is it more like, okay, now we got 52 cars, we got to sell, you're going to sell 10 cars, let's say in the next 10 days. Does that mean that now you're going to chase 10 cars to replace those right away?
We're always buying, and that's the thing when we're buying such niche stuff. I'm always on the chase because
And you already know who you think of one of your clients might like it.
correct. And you know, for me, I don't want to be that 100-car a month dealer either. Like if we do get to 100 cars, cool, but I want to make sure that I keep relationships with all of
Yeah,
our clients.
it's
So
awesome.
whether Hunter or whoever sells the car,
Right.
like I'm always in the deals.
Right, got it.
You know, I get to know these people. Sometimes I'll stop mid conversation and be like, "What do you do for work?" Or we'll start talking. The other day, I sold a Bentley, and the guy's like, "I used to live in Tampa. I'm a real estate developer." I'm like, "Oh, do you know these people?" He's like, "Yeah, I know them." And literally, like that was it. I said, "Cool, we're family." He bought the car.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Because he knows that you took care of them too.
Yeah,
Right.
and he knows them. So like it was just so crazy. So I think
Yeah.
sometimes too, to go back to what you asked earlier, what sets us apart is I'll take the time to get to know you because at the end of the day, like these cars sell themselves. We don't need to like
Right.
sell these cars.
Yeah, you're not like, you don't have to fight and haggle. It's
Nope.
really just like this, like find something that you know you want.
Yeah, and just make a friend. Like we're both
Right.
car enthusiasts. Like,
Yeah.
that's the thing. When someone comes to our place, like we're always talking about cars, and you know they're always asking me questions, and I'm looking at their collection. So like it's just such a organic and mutual thing. Like instead of
And you might be able to buy one of their collection.
yeah, and that's what I want, and that's actually another way. Like I've gone up to people before instead of trying to sell them a car. I'm just like, hey, you want to sell your car? And people kind of look at me like I'm crazy, but like that just opens the door.
Yeah.
And then they
totally.
buy a car from me anyways.
Right. And you are the actual owner of this business,
Yes.
right?
And he gets involved with the deals as the owner. That's big.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean,
I'm in the trenches with my guys. I feel
that's
like
awesome.
that's so important, you know.
and I know you mentioned earlier when we talked about you start out selling $500 cars, and but like, how did you get to open an exotic car dealership? Like, I mean, how much does
He's saying how many $500 cars did you have to buy to buy that Lambo?
I'm not trying to ask
Sure.
you directly how much it costs, but I'm just trying to ask you, like, how does that even like get
The grind,
started? Do you
baby.
buy one expensive car and
It's
you
just
flip it, or like, how does that
No,
even
it's
start?
just a grind, and I just over time, man. Like, you know, there's lending companies and all of these things. So at one point, once you get really good at what you're doing, like, you know, you can take a risk and get a big line of credit.
And
or
not
whatever.
only that, you're dealing with a guy that knows you can sell the car, so they're willing to work with you.
Correct. Yep.
Right. Yeah, because you have that past history
Yeah,
and
but
experience.
to answer your question, it really just started off as one car.
Yeah,
And
that's
what
yeah,
I
that's
did.
good.
What I
Yeah.
did was if that car worked, I put it in the portfolio. Then we bought another car. Then we tried another car. And
Yeah.
what I started doing little by little is I started building this portfolio of exotics that worked.
Yeah.
And once we got to like 20, 25 cars, I was like, this is a starting lineup. This is
Wow,
what I
yeah.
want to buy.
Right.
Because if it worked, let's try it again.
Yeah, got it.
And we kind of went from that to buying the entry level exotics to now we're buying these very niche specific cars. And like, it's really crazy because when I opened up here, you know, last year we were probably at like 500K of inventory, and we were doing like more luxury cars, couple
Yeah.
exotics, nothing crazy. So to go from that to the picture I showed you today, I mean, it's a blessing, and it's really mind boggling, honestly.
Yeah,
like
that's
I
awesome.
can't believe it.
Yeah, that's so cool. And not to ask you to give away all your secrets, but
Ayahuasca.
you know, you
Oh,
mentioned
shit.
you mentioned, you know, like, so you get the car for 190, but then maybe you'll sell it for 30,000 more. Like, how do you find those deals, or are you getting the cars because they're a little bit maybe beat up, and then
And you know what you're looking for. You know what people want.
You have the people, or you know how to do the work on the car to get it back to its 30 grand plus value. Like, how do you find those?
Sure.
deals?
So it's hard. I mean, I think the first thing is like when you're looking at such a niche and specific product, like there has to be margin. And if you're spending $250,000 on something, which is almost a house, right?
Yeah, totally.
Like it has to make sense. So we typically shoot for like 10% returns, but that, you know, we have reconditioning, shipping, and all these fees that go involved. So like
Right.
even if we do make 20, 30 grand, I mean, by the time expenses and all that stuff is it gets
it gets
sliced.
cut. Yeah.
Right.
So, but you're not buying these cars from like Carvana or CarMax or
No,
shit like
so
that, right?
a couple things. So the first thing is I have a lot of good relationships with dealers across the country, where we send cars to each other, and you know they'll call me, hey, what do you think I should pay for this car? Hey, I have these two cars. Let's make a deal. Let's
Right.
do a trade, because some cars do better in other territories. You know, I have
Yeah.
a good friend of mine that's in Missouri.
Yeah.
And they do better with certain cars, and you know he'll send me like convertible stuff down here, or whatever fits that market. So
Right.
you know, from doing this for 10 years, I think to answer your question, it's really just having relationships and having the right person to sell the car to, because someone might pay you more for this car. Like if I shop a car to someone, to a dealer, 5 different people, I'm going to get different offers.
Right.
And the person that's really looking for that car and knows what it is, they're going to pay me the most.
Right.
Because they know what they're going to get the most out of it.
They know what
At
they're
the
getting
end
the
of the
most
road.
out
they
of
get
it.
the value. Yeah.
And the other thing is, on these very specific cars, sometimes you have to create your own market, because, okay, if there's one of 16 of these cars and there's nothing listed, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to lowball yourself and put it on the market, or are you going to shoot for the stars and create that new market trend?
Because it doesn't exist. They can't go compare it.
And that's the thing. It's like, go find me another one.
And they
Right.
can't.
And they can't.
And that's why, but that's just like anything too. Like, you know, restaurants, you were just saying like you're going to overpay to go to the meat market or whatever. You can buy a slice of meat anywhere. But
Yeah.
if you're going to go to the meat market and pay 5 times.
It's about the experience.
Yeah, it's the experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so again, that's why we do that. And, you know, someone can say, oh, these guys are making like 30 grand on cars. Well, guess what? There's times where I've chased a car for 2 years and I've put so much time and emotion and like to finally get that deal done after
made
2
$2 grand.
years.
Yeah.
Let's divide it by the time. Cool, I made 30, but like it took me 2 years to like make
Yeah,
this deal
that's a
happen.
lot of time.
And there's a lot of emotion sometimes. It's so weird, but a lot of emotion goes into buying and selling these
Oh,
cars.
sure. I mean, outside of your home, it's one of the biggest purchases you make, right? Is a car.
That and just like the time and I'm truly invested in like, you know, that chase and finding these cars. I think it's so cool. And, you know, even if it takes me 2 years, it's so rewarding. Like,
Yeah.
I finally
you got
this
it.
car.
Yeah.
And you know who it's going to.
And I know who it's going to. Yep.
Has there been a dream car that we talked about earlier, your favorite car, but what would be like the dream car you'd love to like get on your lot that you haven't had yet? Maybe people are asking for.
Yeah,
or-
so I think I mean we have a little bit of everything. So I would say on a hypercar level, a Bugatti, a Koenigsegg.
Okay.
And what do those go for? Are we talking $500,000 at that point?
Nah, we're talking a couple million.
That's for a car. Jesus Christ.
Carrera GTs, McLaren Sennas,
Okay.
basically anything in that hyper car category.
Yeah.
You just have to be very careful with those because you know at that point you're spending millions on cars.
And then
so-
have you ever gotten a car that you thought was something and it's like, whoa, this is fucked up. Like, this is not what I thought.
all the time.
Yeah, that's the thing.
all the time.
And that goes back to again like us being so niche and specific with what we're buying. Like if I'm buying a car that's 1 of 16 from someone, they took care of it. I mean,
Right.
I'm buying from a collector that has all these cars. Like I know they took care of it.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like now with what we do, we kind of just go off of trust. Like the same way people trust me buying cars.
Yeah.
If I get to know the person selling me the car and everything makes sense, and I see their garage and they have other cars, I already know like we're good.
Yeah. Have you been to any of the car shows at Armature Works? I know you guys met through Armature Works. Have you been to the car shows there yet? or
We've
no?
I've been to a couple of them,
Okay.
but I'm not really big on doing like.
You're at a
events
car
and
show
stuff
every
like
day
that.
when you walk into your place. Like the 52 cars
Yeah.
in there are out there.
I think once we expand and move out there soon, I think we'll start hosting more events. I think
Yeah.
for now though, it's just too much because we're in Largo, so getting the cars there, setting up, it's
Yeah,
just
sure.
it's exhausting, dude. And
Yeah.
I'm like go every day, so it's just too much.
Yeah, because that would be a fun idea. I mean, they have hundreds and hundreds of cars out there at
Yep.
the car shows. They do it at Armature Works.
We're,
but you have enough cars you could do your own.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I talked about this with Sean yesterday. We want to do like a charity event at the showroom and do
Oh,
an art
okay.
show
I would love
and
that.
display some cars and stuff.
Oh,
so
shit.
that's definitely
We got to get that in the works.
In the works.
That's
Yep.
amazing.
And finally, he can up some of his prices on his
Yeah, he
art.
gets
Yeah.
mad that I don't sell high enough, but I will one
Yeah,
day.
Well, especially
Dude,
if
I'm
you're
buying my
selling those
500
Lambos and shit.
Yeah,
dude.
well, that's one thing. It starts with a $500 car, it ends with a Lambo.
There you
Yeah,
go.
exactly. Good mentality. All right, cool. Well, how do people, again, just to remind people, like how they find you on social or anywhere else?
Yeah, so TampaAutoGallery.com and our Instagram page is Tampa Auto Gallery.
That's a good follow too.
Yeah.
If you want to see supercars every day, all
Yep.
day,
Yeah,
it's sick.
I'm going to give it a follow for sure.
Where do we find you?
Tampa'sLife.com.
And you know me, vintage_gimmick. Vic, dude, you're the man. Thank you.
Dude,
so much.
appreciate it, brother. Thanks for coming on.
And buy cars.
Yeah, buy cars, please. Or actually sell me.
Thanks for listening to the What's Good Tampa Show. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at What's Good Tampa Show or visit what'sgoodtampa.com to get involved with the show. See you
See you
next time.